Hello everyone, this is Board Games and Bourbon. Right now, I'm going to tell you about Jinja, which is a new worker placement game from WizKids Game. Plays 2 to 5 people in about an hour. I had a lot of fun playing it. I would play it if anyone recommends it. It's worker placement plus engine building, 2 things I really enjoy. And I tell you right now, I would totally tell you to get this game because I'm also going to talk about the art choices in the game, which I gotta say, I think they missed an opportunity to really elevate your experience in the game. But don't get me wrong. This is a fun game and I'm going to recommend it. So what do you do in this game? Well, you are going to get 5 of your own little workers here, and they're going to go on various places on this board. They're going to go like perhaps in these little spots. There's 7 regions on the board. Okay. And what you're trying to do with these different regions are you're trying to build shrines. Ultimately, you're putting down workers to get resources, and then you're building shrines. Space for shrines are limited. When you build your shrines at the end of the round, you're going to get a little kickback, and that's going to give you resources, and you build more shrines, and it kind of feeds upon itself. And after 5 rounds, you see who did the best, who has the most points. Every round that you do is going to have a little card here that affects that rounds, and there are things like this kind of shrine is discounted. You get 1 free resource here. Everyone gets this free action. You're also going to get these personal bonus cards like this one right here. And this says you'll get 6 points at the end of the game if you build in the blue and if you build in the red territory. Okay, you're going to get a handful of those. You're also going to get these, and these are the build cards. These are what you have to build to actually put your shrines down. This here is saying that you're building in the red territory. You're going to need 1 of these red buildings here. You're going to need 3 of these green resources here. Once you build this, at the end of the round, you get a bonus, and this is where the engine building comes in. Here it says you get to pay 1 gold, right? There's a currency in the game to use a gain territory resource activity. And what does that mean? Well, that kind of gets back to these spots here, and they're multi-purpose. Like right here, if we're looking at this spot, if I wanted to put my person on this spot here, that would allow me to take the resource from the board. Now, this is what the resource looks like, and it's pretty, it's clear. You can see that it's a gate, but it's not very ornate. And I got to tell you, the lack of design on it, I don't think actually helps elevate the board there. But you can go here, and then you can take this resource, okay? Or you can go here. You can pay the resources from a card, and you can drop your shrine into the territory. Now, we're going to talk about this later, and I'll leave that right there, okay? Once you do that, at the end of the round, you will not only get the end game bonus over here, which is upgradable. It starts like this. This says you get 1 coin, 1 gold at the end of the round, but you could upgrade it here, and it says you can get 2 points, okay, at the end of the round. You're not only going to get that, you're going to get whatever was on your card. And like I said, here it says you can pay money to use an action. And that's really important because there's a lot of blocking going on in this game. If you don't use one of these territories down here, you can use these spots up here. And what do these spots say? Well, this says here that you can get rid of a card. Okay, let me get a little closer in there. This says you can get rid of a card and you can draw 3 random resources from a draw bag. There are random resources, a big old bag full of chits in there, okay? You grab, and then everyone else gets a random one as well. Here I can pay 2 gold, and then I can pull up a discarded card. Like if someone used this or no one had used it in the game, I get to pull it up and I can build it right away. And that's important because if I needed to build in this spot here, but this was blocked, I need to go here to be able to access it. Here, I can draw 2 possible future build cards, but I have to get rid of 1. Here, again, if the spot is blocked on the board, I go here and I can gain the resource. Here I pay 1 and I can build a building. Again, if I'm blocked, I can go there. It's more expensive. So you're finding ways to kind of like circumvent what other people have done. Here, you can flip 2 of the end round bonuses and you can take 1. Here, you can pay 2 gold and get straight points. And then you got to roll this die. So that's pretty cool. It's a little bit of a chance. I find that fun. If you get a blue face, it's 3 points. If you get the red face, it's 5 points. Here, you can offer 4 gold and you get 6 points. Here, you pay 2 gold and it says a max of 5. You get a resource of your want. Or you can trade in, sorry, let me bring this over here. If you pay 2 gold, you get a resource if you want up to 5. So I guess that means 10 gold there. Or you can trade in to get money back. Here, you can place a worker, and that means you can roll for structures. Structures are what they call the chits in the game, the resources. Again, if you get a blue, you get 2 randoms. If you get a red, you get 1 of your choice. Just dig in there. Use that spot. There's 5 players, 4 to 5 players. You pay 1 and you get 2. Down here, 3 to 5 players. Gold supplements. You just get gold, I guess. Here, there's a blank anyone can go. And for 5, again, you can roll for resources. So overall, the game actually moves pretty briskly. There's a lot of outs. You're never totally locked out of something, but there is the pressure of restraint, like you can see here. In the green tier, there's only so many places you can go. Over here, there's only 2. So there is a restraint on space. There is the worker placement and where you go to subvert things and circumvent what people have done. Do I block a space to make it hard on somebody? What do I take when I'm there? Which territories do I build and flip my bonuses? All really good decisions. Okay, so that's the gameplay. Fun, brisk, totally would do it. But the art in the game, I think is a real, not quite there, and I'll tell you why. This game is about building shrines in Japan, and that's a very noble thing, perhaps very traditional. And then you get this art in the game that is very active and moving. And this almost reminds me of anime to a degree. And I'm not even talking about, like, I don't like the style. I'm just talking about congruence between theme and the choices. When you look at the chits are very plain. There's no composition there. And when they go on the board, they kind of they don't really elevate the board. They just kind of look like they were, I don't know, just not completed, It was just drop an icon on a chit. I would have liked to see a pattern. And then you have the board itself here. Now you have this really nice picture of Japan going up to center, but then it's just chopped up with these boxes everywhere. It's so chopped up, you don't even get to enjoy the picture here. I think that was a real missed opportunity to make this more stylized. You just got all these squares over here, just chopping up the whole thing. And then you look here, you have 1,000 different fonts. You have this font and this size over here. You have this over here, which I think is just Arial font. You have this over here. That's another font. You have this font down here. That's something else. So it's a little chaotic to the eye. Now let's talk about the production of the bits. Well, when you make the shrines, here are the shrines. When you look at it, the shrine is actually quite ornate, okay? Quite ornate. But when you put it on the board, guess what you see? You just see this. You just see the top. So unless your perspective, your eyeball, is like right down here, your eye is on the table, you're not going to be able to enjoy that artwork. Let's see if I can get that to zoom in. And even that has to be like right up on you. So I think I would have preferred to have wooden bits there. These are also very, very light in the hand. My goodness, you almost feel like, and I don't want to be derogatory here, but gosh, they kind of feel like dollar store bits there. The tokens over here for tracking your place on the board, again, just incredibly lightweight. They don't feel like quality. And I think when you make a game, especially if this game's going to be like $50-$60, you need to invest in the parts that your hands are touching. The die over here, maybe it's because it had to be have this graphic laid upon it, but it's an incredibly lightweight die. I would have almost preferred like a wooden die in my hand, something more traditional, heavier, more tactile to the touch. But again, I don't want to get caught up in those choices there because the gameplay itself is actually very brisk and a lot of fun. And maybe, maybe the burst of color and the vivaciousness and the activity that I see in this font, even though I wouldn't associate it with shrines, maybe it does bring to life because maybe shrines in traditional sense are too staid. Anyway, that's Jinja. I give it a thumbs up. I would play this. I'm looking forward to getting more people to play it with me. Okay, that's my ultimate takeaway. If you like worker placement and engine building, this is a fun one. I would almost say, in terms of level, it's like a Takedo but higher. It's not the heaviest game I've ever played, but pretty darn fun. If you have questions about gameplay, let me know, and I'm happy to help. Talk to you later, everyone. Bye.